These latest headlines from ABC15 are sponsored by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorneys. One call, that's all.
I'm Nicole Gregg with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. First, the immigration crackdown. ICE detaining dozens of people outside an immigration court in Phoenix. We brought you the breaking news at 11. You can see federal agents taking people into custody outside of the court. Some of those detained telling us they were there for an asylum hearing, only to be told that their case was being dismissed and then detained by ICE.
¿Cuánto tiempo llevaban acá? Menos un año. ¿Estaba en algún proceso de asilo? ¿Entró con cívica igual?
Sí, entré con cívica igual. Es mi primera corte.
¿Es tu primera corte?
Sí.
¿Y qué es lo que pasó?
Pues me desestimaron el caso, pero los agentes...
We asked ICE about the operation, who would only say they're, quote, executing its mission of identifying and removing criminal aliens and others who have violated our nation's immigration law. They would not give any other details, citing security concerns. You've told us immigration is a top concern, so our political reporter Ben Brown will be following up to bring transparency to enforcement efforts around the valley. Find the latest developments on ABC15.com. Another big story. The U.S. Department of Justice announced today it's closing its civil rights investigation of the city of Phoenix and its police department and retracting its findings of constitutional violations. As ABC15 reported last month, the Trump administration had already frozen all DOJ police reform actions across the country. Now the DOJ has decided to essentially scrap everything its investigators concluded in their 100-page report on Phoenix, released just a year ago. The findings were considered historic, saying that the department has a pattern or practice of unconstitutional policing. The Phoenix Police Department had pushed back on making a binding reform agreement after the DOJ report was released, saying they were already on the road to reform. And last fall, they released a 25-point plan to address issues like use of force and to improve data collection and accountability. Now, we've reached out to the police department about whether those reforms will continue. Without pressure from the federal government, we'll let you know when they respond. Taking a look at Wall Street today as stocks continue to slide. Right now, investors are being scared off by the growing national debt as House Republicans move forward with President Trump's new tax plan. The bill, which touts cuts to federal spending, would actually raise the federal deficit by $4 trillion over the next decade. Economists disagree, though, over whether or not that's a problem for the country. Overnight, the House Rules Committee continued to debate the big, beautiful bill, with several Republican holdouts still threatening to derail the entire plan. The proposal extends the 2017 Trump tax makes cuts to Medicaid, and ends federal taxes on the tips and overtime. The bill would also leave an estimated 8 million Americans without health insurance over the next 10 years. Central to the discussion right now is a proposed extension of work requirements for Americans living on Medicaid. Joe St. George brings us more on that part of the discussion and the impact for Americans.
Tracking your forecast, I'm Chief Meteorologist Amber Sellens. The heat is on, the triple digits are back, and tomorrow we're going up to 106 degrees. It's going to be the hottest day so far this year. Temperatures running about 10 degrees above normal, and we'll be topping 105 for the first time this year. Pretty much right on cue. Our average first 105-degree plus day is around May 22nd. And again, we will hit about 106 for tomorrow. High pressure building in. That's what's bringing the heat. We've got low pressure coming in to our north here, which will pick up some winds Friday and Saturday and help drop temperatures a little bit heading into the holiday weekend. So 106 is as high as we're going to get. Again, that's the forecast tomorrow. 104 and breezy on Friday, then lower 100s to take you through Memorial Day weekend here in the valley, with overnight lows for the next 6 nights in the mid-70s.